Hi and welcome to my channel. My name's Teresa. I'm the car boot crafter and I'm in the craft room today making these cute little treat holders. Aren't they cute? And I think they're just perfect for an after dinner treat because they just about hold one Ferrero Rocher each in each of these cute little strawberries. These ones were made with a 5.5 inch circle, but I'm going to make a slightly bigger one, so I've cut myself a 7.5 inch circle. So well, basically so you can see without my fingers getting in the way. So let's bring in my circle. So really simple. So I've got a red circle and I'm going to fold it in half across the width like that. And I'm going to use my bone folder just to reinforce that. Oops, my pen's gone rolling. So reinforce that, open that up, turn it so that you've got your diagonal line there. And you're going to fold it in half again so that this diagonal, this point here on your diagonal, let me get a pencil so that you can see. This will be on the inside, so I'm not worried. So this end of your crease mark matches up there as well. So we've got a perfect 90-degree angles on those. So we've got that. So I'll use my pencil again so that you can see where my score mark is. So there's my other score mark. Then what you're going to do is turn it again so that you've got the score marks going across like that. And what you want to do now is fold it in half again. What you're aiming for is for these two score marks here to line up with these two score marks here so that we've got a perfect central line, going across there like that. So bring that up. Try and line up your score marks. So I'm lining that one up with that score mark there so you can see my pencil mark there. Hopefully you can see the back of my score mark there. So I'm lining them two up on that side, and hopefully these two now will line up on this side, which they do. So that's my halfway. I'm going to use my bone folder again to fold that in half. So we've now got a line going across there like that. So and those look very even, those two there. So I'm going to turn it again so that these larger quarters are here. And what I want to do now is fold it a half again, and exactly like we did before, line this score line up with there. So what I'm doing is I'm checking my score line there and lining it up with the score line here. And that then should give us very even eighths of this circle. So if I get my pencil and draw that line in, hopefully you can see how they're all very evenly spaced. And I'll do that with whatever size I'm using to make these strawberries. Now, what I don't do is draw the lines on every time, but if you're more comfortable with that, then go ahead and do that. Then you're going to fold it over, bring one side up, fold that half, and then bring that side up and use your bone folder again. So you've sort of concertinaed it, so it's like that. So there's the point, there's my creases, there's the point, and it's like that shape when I've folded it. Okay, there we go. Then get your pencil and do a sort of the middle. So I'm by eyeing it. You can use your scoreboard to measure it up if you want, but I've just done it by eye on there. Then get your scissors And what I tend to do is open it up a little bit, because it's going to be tough cutting through all that paper. Unless you're doing it with quite thin paper. Then you're going to come down about halfway down here. So I'm thinking about there. And I'm going to do a curve going towards that point there. So, and I've allowed that bit to open up, so curving round to that point like that there. Okay, so then I'm going to open it up again, and I'm going to follow that curve and cut through that bit there. So I'm not going through this piece because I've already done it. And this is about the toughest I'm going to do with these, and that's going through 4 pieces. So that's that one, and I'll bring in that last piece and do it again. So unless you've got, I mean, you may have a really good pair of scissors that are going to go through that like butter. Some scissors will. Unfortunately, I don't have any of those at the moment. So I've done that side. What I now want to do is turn it round and do this side. So I'm going to do exactly the same. I'm going to open it up. There's only 2 lots this time, and I'm going to head to, if I get my pencil again, I'm heading to the equivalent on this side, so about there. So that's where I started my cut. When I was cutting up, I started there. So I'm heading to about there. So I've opened that out again, so I'm not having to go through all the layers. Starting at that point, and then I'm curving it down to there. And I'm going to bring that back up, and I'm going to follow that line again. If you've got a pencil and you want to do that and then rub the pencil out afterwards, then feel absolutely free to do that. And then what we end up with is this sort of flower shape. Now, if like me you've got one that's a little bit blunt at the top, it doesn't matter, but you can go back in and cut it again. So I'm going to do this side like that, cut it so it's at a point, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I've got one that's a bit blunt there. I'm going to leave that one because I can't be bothered with it, because this is all going to be hidden. All these points are going to be hidden under the leaves when you fold it all up like that. Okay, so now that you've done that, oh, and I'm trying to find my folds again. There we go. I'm going to bring in my crocodile. Now, my crocodile will go through all these layers. I know, because I've done this before. So I'm going to take that back in, and I'm just going to cut myself a little hole, keeping away from the edges so that it's about there, like that. And then I'm going to open it out again. So we've now got that. And this time, now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut away 2 of those. So I'm coming down to the middle like that, and this side, and cutting away 2 of them. And this is regardless of what size you're doing. You're going to remove 2 of them like that. Okay, which now leaves you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides there. Next thing you do is just make sure all of them are folded the same way. That's going to help us in a minute. And then bring in a black pen or felt tip and just put your marks all over. Try and be random when you're doing it, and just do all of them. Now, you can do dots, you can do bigger dots if you want. I'm just for quickness doing random regular dots like this. On the other ones I did do a little bit like that, just so that they're a bit more noticeable. And you can go up as high as you like or as low, it doesn't really matter, as long as the bottom of your strawberry can be seen. So I'm just going to put a few more up there. There we go. So I've got my random dots all over. You can see on this one I've put more substantial dots on than I have on that one, but it's just so that it's for quickness. Then get your bone folder and you're just going to curve over those leaves like that. They're not leaves, they're top of the strawberry, but I don't know what else to call them. There you go. So just use your bone folder to give them a little bit of a curl. That'll help us in a minute when we put it all together. Okay, so that's that. Then grab your favourite glue, or if you want to use double-sided tape, that works just as well, and put glue on one of these. And then we're just going to bring the other one around like that, as if you were making a flower. You've seen them before, those sorts of flowers. Line up your punched hole like that, and then we're going to leave that for a minute to dry. I'll pop that there to dry. Let's put, that's the only bit of gluing we need for this. Then bring yourself in some green paper, and I'm going to use my Martha Stewart circle cutter. Now that one's 7.5, so for these ones it was a 5.5 inch circle, and I used a 2.5 inch circle for the leaves on the top. So I'm just going to try and decide what size to do. I might go for a 3.25. Let me just find 3.25 on here. There it is, 3.25. So I'm just making sure that it doesn't go off the paper. Let's bring it over a bit closer so that I'm saving a little bit of paper. 3.25. Where are we? There it is. Yeah, that's it. Okay, pop that in there and cut myself a circle, hopefully. No, that's not in properly. And there we go with my circle. So pop that down, move that out of the way, and there's my circle. And I'm going to fold this in exactly the same way as I folded my strawberry. So fold it in half, bone folder, open it out, oops, open it out, fold it in half the other way, and use your bone folder again. Line it up so I can see my two lines there. There's the top of the one, there's the top of the other, and I'm going to bring it over and line up these two with those two. So again, I get nice even, aren't quarters, are they? They're 1/8 of an inch. And then again, lining up that line, top and bottom, like that. Goes through the middle as well, which really helps. And again, I'm going to cut this in very similar way to the way I cut my strawberry. So I've zigzag folded it again, only this time I'm going to go longer. So whereas on my strawberry I came down about halfway, I'm going to go a little bit further. So I'm going to mark again, I'm going to mark my halfway on that curve so I know where I'm heading for. And this time I'm coming down to about here, which is about 1/3 of the way. So yeah, about 1/3 of the way from that point up. So two-thirds from there down, if you like. And I'm going to do it in exactly the same way. Curve up to there. And this is to make that sort of leaf shape. Again, I've brought that. So there's the piece I've just caught. Cut. I'm bringing it over, going through those layers, following that first cut that I did. Then I'm going to bring that piece round and follow them all again. I just find it makes life easier for my cutting. So now I've got those sorts of shapes. So I'm going to work on the other side. So there's my point. That's how far I came up, and I've cut round, and then I'm going to do the same on the other side. So that's where I started my cut. I'm just going to mark there so that I can come from this point down. Again, curving it round like that, and then bringing that piece up and doing that cut again. Hope this makes sense to you. It just seems to make sense for me because I was struggling trying to cut through. This is not especially thick card, but it is going through quite a few layers. So now I'll show you what we've got, but we're not quite finished with the cutting. So we've got that sort of shape. What I want to do before I finish is fold it back up, and using my scissors I'm just going to take that point off. So these are my cut edges. Let me just show you. Fiddly. So those are my cut edges there. So that point, the middle of my fold, I'm just going to snip away. And you only need a tiny little snip. It's really, that's all I've taken away from it. It's tiny, but when I open it out, it gives me a nice, almost circular hole in the middle. So again, I'm just going to, so a lot of these folds, because the way I've been working with it, are going the wrong way. So I'm just going to fold it so that they are just a quick pinch, so that they're all going the same way. So all I'm doing is folding them back and pinching them, folding that back and pinching them, so that they're all sort of folded the right way. Then I'm going to bring in my bone folder again, and I'm again going to just curl them under. This is my top, so I want to curl them under so that they sit on the top of my strawberry nice and well. So that's like that, so that when they're on the top of the strawberry, look, they sort of curl round it like that. So now we've got those two elements. I want to cut myself a piece of string. I always overestimate how much I'll need, so I can always trim it down afterwards. So get your string, and I start from the inside because what I want to do is pull them all together. So I start from the inside and thread out, and keep going all the way around. So pull that through until we get, and I leave a little tail there, and then again to the next one, inside out, and you can see they'll start to pull together like that, inside out, and again. And with the last one, because I want both ends to be on the inside of my strawberry, I'm going to go from the outside in, and that just brings my strawberry, so both of mine now finish inside the strawberry. I did have them finishing so that they were on the outside, and that just made this kind of to the side, and it didn't really sit very well. So now we've got to this stage. This is the time to put some sweeties or goodies on the inside. And then just, this is garden string, so it's very, very fibrous, which means that it does catch quite a bit. So I'm just going to hold the string while I push the papers along like that. This seems to just work best for it when I've tried to do it. So just sort of manipulate. If you've got smoother string, then you can probably just pull, or if you're using something like baker's twine, that's going to make life a lot easier for you. So, and actually having goodies inside helps as well. This one's empty at the moment. I will fill it, but I haven't got anything for it at the moment. So once you've pulled them all together and you're happy with the shape, just put yourself a regular little knot. And it depends, I'm going to open this up again, so I'm not going to put a double knot on here. I'm just going to put a single knot on there. Pull that tight and it will pull your strawberry together even more. Like that. And then just simply thread both ends of your string. And I'm just going to cut them so that they're the same length. That will make it easier for me to thread both ends of your string from the bottom. So have your curves that way and come in underneath the coil, the curved papers. Push it down like that. So now it sits lovely on top of your strawberry. And if you want to, you can do a knot, but I'm going to open this again in a minute, so I'm just going to go straight into the bow. So tie a bow on the top, and there you go. There is your strawberry. And I think they are so cute and really work well. This one will have a few sweeties in, I think. I think it can manage having quite a few in there. But these ones are the Ferrero Rocher sides at 5.5 inch circles for the strawberries and 2.5 inch circles for the top. So there you go. Those are the strawberries. I think particularly for June and July, these are fabulous little treat boxes, and I'm gonna have to make a few more, I think. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video if I get out of the craft room in time to do all these strawberries. Anyway, I'll speak to you soon, and thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate those who watch my videos, and especially if you make it right to the end. And I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye for now.